Hello, this is Dr. Acha with Austin Bible Institute. Thank you for joining us on another lecture. Today we're going to be talking about what is integrity. The world badly needs an example of integrity, and in 1987, Coach Cleveland Stroud of Rockdale County High School basketball team in Conyers, Georgia, provided an amazing example of integrity that has been written and talked about for almost 2 decades. For almost 20 years, exactly 18 years as a basketball coach at this high school, Coach Stroud had never won a state championship. And in March 1987, that happened and he was excited. Yet, in an amazing twist of events, Coach Stroud would lose this championship, but he would gain something more important, immeasurably more important than what he lost. He would gain a lot of trust and respect from the people in the community, and he'll become a hero, not because he won a state championship, something that every year somebody wins, but because of his example of integrity. A few weeks after the championship, the coach was doing a routine review of the players' academic performance when he discovered that one of his players had failed some courses, rendering the player academically ineligible for the basketball team. The ineligible student was by no means a factor in the team's victory. He was dressed up for games but hadn't actually played all season except only once and for 45 seconds. During one of the semifinal matches, the coach had seen that the team was ahead by 20 points, and so he decided to put everybody in the field, give everybody an opportunity to be able to participate, to play. So this player who had not played all season was put in once and only for 45 seconds. In those 45 seconds, this player did not score any points, and the victory during that game had nothing to do with him. He was put in just so that he could participate and say in the whole season he has been on the court. Yet, Coach Stroud discovered that even this 45-second play of this player who contributed nothing to the victory was a violation of the state eligibility standards. So he was faced with a conundrum, with a difficult situation. He was between a rock and a hard place. If he revealed the infraction, his team would be disqualified and lose the championship. If he kept quiet, it was highly unlikely that anybody would find out, but he was also sure that the student who was put in knew within him that he was not eligible to play. And perhaps a few other students had also been corrupted. And the students might have thought that the coach intentionally decided to violate the standards. Worst of all, the coach himself, Coach Stroud, realized that he was aware of the infraction and had to do something about it. Coach Stroud basically said, from the moment he discovered the violation, he knew what he was going to do. He didn't even ponder any alternatives. His priorities had been set long before this. He realized that his team's championship was not as important as their character. He said, people forget the scores of basketball games. They don't forget what you are made of. They don't forget your character. He reported the infraction to the state authorities and lost the only state championship his team ever won. However, the coach, the team, the school, and the entire county won far more important kind of honor than they lost. They kept their integrity intact and gained an immeasurable amount of trust and respect. The local newspaper reported this about the incident. That simple act of integrity swelled into a behemoth story that portrayed not only Stroud but also Rockdale County as a place of courage and righteousness amid a culture that promoted winning no matter the cost. The recognition netted Stroud a slew of state, national, and international honors. Most notably is his International Olympic Committee Award and a championship trophy gifted to him by a sympathetic band of Georgia coaches. There were countless articles written about him in publications such as the New York Times and the Sports Illustrated. If you just do a Google search of Coach Stroud's honesty, you would see how he has been used in sermons, even in best-selling books, as an example of integrity. The coach was also recognized for numerous Teacher of the Year awards, Coach of the Year awards, a Citizenship of the Year awards, as well as a formal commendation from the Georgia State Legislature. Right now, the coach is a member of the City Council in Conyers, and he has been a City Council member for years. The coach is right. He was right then and he's right now when he says that people will forget the scores of a basketball game, but they won't forget what you're made of. People have forgotten how many points the game, that championship game was, but they've not forgotten how he showed integrity. They've not forgotten how he showed integrity by revealing the infraction. Let's take a look at some quotes on integrity. Samuel Johnson says, "There can be no friendship without confidence, no confidence without integrity." Another one, again, this one by Coach Cleveland Stroud, "People will forget the score of a basketball game, but they will never forget what you are made of." King Solomon of Israel said, "The integrity of the upright guides them, keeps them on track, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them." Just think about this. When we make decision after decision to live with integrity, that integrity guides us. It protects us from trouble. It protects us from disaster, because when we start choosing right and right every time, it eventually guides us and protects us from trouble. A single lie destroys a whole reputation. That's philosopher and author Baltasar Gracián. Just one lie. You can spend a whole life building a career. You can spend a whole life building a reputation, but one lie will destroy it. One lie will make it very difficult to build that reputation again. Integrity is absolutely crucial. A single lie destroys a whole reputation. King Solomon again says, "The Lord delights, the Lord relishes in those with integrity." The way of the Lord is a stronghold to those with integrity. That's the way of the Lord protects those with integrity. Let's take a look at what Stephen R. Covey said about integrity. Integrity is a higher value than loyalty. Or better put, integrity is the highest form of loyalty. Integrity means being integrated or centered on principles, not on people, organizations, or even family. You will find that the root of most issues that people are dealing with is it popular, acceptable, political, or is it right? When we prioritize being loyal to a person or a group over doing what we feel to be right, we lose integrity. We may temporarily gain popularity or build loyalty, but downstream, this loss of integrity will undermine even those relationships. It's like bad-mouthing someone behind their back. The person you are temporarily united with through bad-mouthing someone else knows you would badmouth them under different pressures and circumstances. Over time, integrity produces loyalty. If you attempt to reverse them and go for loyalty first, you will find yourself temporizing and compromising integrity. It's better to be trusted than to be liked. Ultimately, trust and respect will generally produce love. Just think about this, spend some time, pause this video, and just digest what the late Stephen R. Covey is saying here, and just grasp what integrity is. Let's take a look at some definitions. Integrity is being honest with yourself. Integrity is the alignment of our thoughts, words, and actions. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. Integrity includes but goes beyond honesty. Honesty is telling the truth, but in other words, conforming our words to reality. Integrity is conforming reality to our words. In other words, keeping promises and fulfilling expectations. This requires an integrated character, a oneness primarily with self, but also with life. Again, that's Stephen R. Covey. And the fifth one, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one else is watching. That's C.S. Lewis. That's one of my favorite ones. Also, integrity, I would say, is doing the right thing even when you know that no one will ever see what you've done. Now let's take a look at how I view integrity based on a composition of many definitions that I've reviewed and what my experience has taught me. Integrity is the alignment of our thoughts, words, and actions to sound principles and values that conform to reality. So integrity is when I have my thoughts, the things I think about, the things I believe, my values, and my beliefs. Integrity is when I have those thoughts, those beliefs and values, and when I have those things that are at the core of my life at that level, when I have them aligned with the words that I speak so that I am not a hypocrite. When I have my thoughts, my beliefs, my values align with what I say so that I only speak what is in line with my values and beliefs and the things I hold firmly. And my actions also are made to be in alignment with what I say, also with what I think about, with what I believe. When I have these three things lined up to sound principles and values that are conformed to reality, that's what I say is integrity. Remember that the principles and values have to be conformed to reality. They have to line up with what the truth is. My challenge to you is that you should examine yourself and make a determination today to live a life of integrity. Then follow through on that promise and live a life of integrity that also inspires someone, just as the example of Coach Cleveland Stroud has inspired us.